Daniel was a man of vision and integrity. Born into a humble background, he worked his way up the economic ladder to become one of the most successful businessmen in the city. His pride and joy was Dan Breweries, a state-of-the-art brewery known for producing the finest alcoholic beverages in the region. His drinks were enjoyed across the country and had separate production lines for high-end and low-cost products. Known across the nation, his drinks were celebrated, his name respected, and his heart full of generosity. Daniel believed in more than just profit. He believed in people. He employed thousands of people. His employees were treated like family, with fair wages, bonuses, health care, and education for their children. He rewarded hard work and uplifted those who were down. His company didn't just brew drinks, it brewed hope. Daniel engaged in charity work, community water projects, funding schools and hospitals. But deep within the walls of the brewery, a darker plan was fermenting. James, the production manager, and Fred, the marketing head, were consumed by greed and expensive lifestyle. In secret, they tampered with the product quality, adding black market ethanol to beer and spirits for the low-cost consumers during mixing to increase production and to inflate profits, siphoning off the profits from excess production and hiding their treachery behind the trust Daniel had built. Their scheme went unnoticed for months, and they made a small fortune from their deception. Their lifestyles changed drastically. They bought luxury vehicles and lived in mansions. One fateful day, their regular supplier of illicit ethanol failed to deliver. Desperate to keep the illegal operation running, they sourced ethanol from a new supplier at an unusually low price. Unbeknownst to them, the supplier had provided methanol, a highly toxic chemical used in industrial applications, but deadly when consumed by humans. They added methanol to the production line that targeted low-cost consumers only. Within days of the tainted batch hitting the market, chaos erupted. Reports of severe illnesses, blindness, and deaths flooded hospitals. It was reported that those who consumed the tainted alcohol experienced intense body pains and were writhing in pain and complained their vision was gone. Most hospitals in town were full of sick patients as a result of methanol poisoning. Families mourned as loved ones succumbed to mysterious poisoning, and soon all fingers pointed to Dan Breweries. The government launched an urgent investigation, and the results were damning. Large quantities of methanol had been detected in the latest batch of drinks that were sold to low-cost consumers. The high-end consumers were not affected. Daniel watched the news in disbelief. How could this happen under his watch? His once pristine company, built on trust and quality, had become a source of death and despair. In a heart-wrenching meeting, he uncovered the truth. The betrayal wasn't from rivals, it was from within. James and Fred had gambled with people's lives for personal gain, and the consequences were irreversible. Daniel wasted no time cooperating with the authorities. He handed over James and Fred to the police. His heart was heavy, knowing that his own employees had betrayed him and the trust of thousands of consumers. He worked tirelessly to rebuild the company's reputation, personally visiting affected communities in hospitals and homes to offer condolences and financial support. The damage to Owino Breweries was immense. The government shut down the factory, and Daniel faced lawsuits from affected families. But true to his character, he took responsibility for the catastrophe. He sold his personal assets to compensate the victims' families and launched a campaign to educate the public on the dangers of illicit alcohol. James and Fred, they were prosecuted for manslaughter and fraud. They were found guilty and jailed for 60 years each. The properties they had acquired were sold, and the affected families compensated with the proceeds. Determined to rebuild, Daniel implemented stricter quality controls, hired independent auditors, and installed new security measures in the brewery to prevent such incidents in the future. Over time, Dan Breweries reopened, producing only the safest, highest quality drinks. He worked tirelessly to rebuild the company's reputation by holding town hall meetings and talking to the business community and consumers. Slowly but surely, he regained the trust of the people. Though his business suffered, Daniel's integrity remained intact, and he became a vocal advocate against greed and corruption in the industry. Daniel's journey teaches us that leadership is not just about power, it's about accountability. That profits built on deceit are nothing, and character is everything. His bitter tragedy became a powerful lesson, and through it he saved more lives than he ever imagined. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, and share.